if you see a baby, no, the baby will walk and like if you put a box that is closed in front of it, the baby will like tear it open. The baby's not going to be like, what's the use of that? What is the point? Like, is there, what if there's nothing useful in that? That's not how we all thought when we were babies, right? Babies are naturally curious. We were naturally curious as babies. You imagine a baby that's like looking and going like, yeah, I don't know what is inside behind that, but why bother? I'll just sit here. No, the baby's like going fast and like opening it. Why are we doing this? Because humans, we are naturally curious, both as babies and even as we grow. All humans were in Africa, right? There were many reasons why we moved out of Africa, but one of the reasons is we're kind of curious. What's on the other side? And we're kind of explorative like a cat. Like if you see a cat, the cat's like can't resist the temptation of seeing behind certain things, like opening certain things. So humans are a little bit like that. We are naturally curious, especially when we are born and the younger we are. But it's kind of hard to remain that kind of baby curious or childlike curious as people get older. You would have seen many adults don't randomly open boxes. They're like, hey, I'm done, man. Like, what causes that? And is that okay? Now, if you look at it, right, many children I talk to, one of the reasons that they stop asking questions about the world around them is that they asked it, and some friend was like, that's such a stupid question, dumb question. We didn't even know that or what. And it really hurt them. Or a teacher sometimes has told them that, hey, that is not part of this thing. They should have to say that, hey, we can cover it later. But they felt like a bit, oh, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to ask. Or a friend, somebody told, not that it's a dumb question, but that, what a nerd. You're curious about things like science or like how technology works. That's a nerd thing. And then they felt scared that, hey, if I say this, I'll be judged. And then they feel like, okay, maybe I should just like keep this curiosity under like, wraps. It's not safe to be curious because people can say things like you're stupid or you don't even know that or, something like that. And I can imagine it feels pretty harsh, right? Especially when we are young, we have a group of friends and what they say hits us. What to do about this? We will talk. But the other reason I've seen is also many of the students of say your age don't do this, okay? But when I talk to like students of 14, 15 and all, so much exams are there in their life. Whatever curious question I ask them, hey, why is the sky blue? They'll be like, sir, is this a 3 mark question or not? If it's a 3 mark question, then I'll understand why sky is blue. Otherwise, don't talk to me about it. They're thinking about is it useful, not useful. In that time for exams and maybe later to make money will this help? If not, then I don't want to know. Sometimes I'm thinking if it's useless, why to learn? In fact, even some students of like 10, 11-year-old, when I ask them, hey, you're doing this division and all, hey, but why does it work? What are you actually doing? They're like, sir, I did know. I got answer no. My mother already clapped. My father already clapped. My uncle is telling I'm faster than his son. This is all I do max for. I don't want to know why and all. You're wasting my time. So the usefulness is also another reason why they are like, hey, if nobody will clap for me, if there is no exam appreciating me, if my parents don't give a, like, don't care about it too much, then why should I do it? The third is sometimes they ask these questions, but nobody is able to give them answers. They just lose motivation. They're like, hey, I have all these questions, but I'm not able to find the answer. The answer is difficult. So even something like, hey, elephant toothpaste, why did it happen? And somebody says sodium, bicarbonate, and you're like, I don't know any of this, right? So these are reasons why staying curious is harder, the three reasons. But so what? Or maybe it's just one of those things that we should all lose. But trust me, one of the best things to keep is this childlike curiosity intact in you, even as you become an adult. Lots of the Nobel laureates, physicists, all of them, right? They look all old and everything. They're even 70 years old. But you talk to them, when they talk about that field, they actually talk like a child. They're like, you know what? Then I saw this. And in fact, when gravitational waves were discovered, right? That guy was like, you know what? We were mind blown that it came. And then just become like so childlike curious. They have that childlike curiosity in that area. And so if you want to do something new to the world, bring something new, create something, having that childlike curiosity in you, safe, has a huge upside. But there's also other reasons, like it's fun. Like imagine these old people who've like lost all curiosity, right? Like every locality has a house that if you throw the ball inside, it will not come back. It's the black hole of the region. And I always imagine that the person inside that house is completely lost touch with their childhood, right? How did they go from like playing with the ball on the street to like not returning balls? Like I can't give you the ball back. They like lost all curiosity. If you give them a new technology, they're going to be like, I don't want to know anything about this. Versus you would have seen some people pretty old, they're still kind of like, oh wow, what is the social media thing? Oh, okay, what is this AI thing? In fact, one of the actors that I like in Tamil industry, right? He's a pretty famous actor called Kamal Hassan. He's now doing an AI course to try and create an AI production company, and he's 72 years old. He's like, oh, what is this new thing? So it depends on whom you want to be. And if you want to be curious, all you have to do is practice being curious. Richard Feynman said that his father played games with him, imaginary games like, hey, what if this entire field of grass has like an ant village in it? What would those ants see? And then suddenly you're imagining like an ant and you're like asking, okay, wait, will I be able to hold on to that grass? Will I hold it or will I fall? How much weight will that grass hold? And all of these are like useless questions, right? But lots of times when you think too much about, hey, where is it useful? How is it going to come in 3 mark question or 5 mark question? You just can't learn. Personal experience, every student, friend I've met and students I've worked with who think too much about structuring this, like, yeah, I learn exactly what is needed. They overplan it. They don't learn well. Neither do they do well in whatever they want to do, whether it's exams or something else. And most people I see who actually end up learning very well are kind of just curious for no reason at all. They want to learn anyway. And then before the exam, sometimes they're like also like putting it all together. And even if for job, like that's what they do. So how to do this though? One of the things we want you to start with is just look around you. And I'm gonna like pick up something random, okay? I got this plant recently, and you can practice. What all questions are you getting when you look at it? I'm, for example, getting like, hey, there's a cover here. How is it like it doesn't need water for a while? Why have they put that cover? Is it to like, I'm getting some ideas. Is it like maybe when the water comes up, it evaporates, it's trying to keep it inside so the moisture will remain inside longer, or what is it? Like sometimes I'm wondering like, hey, okay, which direction will this plant grow in if I keep watering it? Will it grow up or will it grow more wide? How does this plant know which direction to grow? Um, I can keep coming up with many. Because this one, in this case, I don't know what is there. It's not soil. It looks like, I don't know if you can see it. It looks like something else inside. So what have they mixed with this? And I kid you not, for the second two, even the first one, I don't know the answers actually. And it's okay. I am proud of the bag of questions I have, and I know that I can, maybe something else will give me the answer, or when I'm very curious, I can go into it. I'm gonna like, look at something else that's there on my table right now. So whatever is on my table is what we talk about, okay? So I'm looking at this and the questions in my mind are, okay, this is a DSLR camera and okay, there is an autofocus and a manual focus. And I'm like, wait, how does the autofocus actually work? How does it know that where to focus on automatically? What is moving? Uh, I'm also thinking when I look like this, uh, okay, I couldn't see anything. Why is that? Okay, when I look like this, am I seeing what's visible here? Or is there some way I'm seeing actually what the lens is seeing? Okay, I don't know the answer to that. I am wondering, what are these different lenses that people put? Like I've seen this lens. I've also seen another lens that I can bring to you. Whenever I've seen these lenses, I've always wondered like, hey, what's the difference between this lens and this one? And again, actually, I don't know the answer to at least this one exactly. Like I know this is called a prime lens, this is called something else. But whether it's technology or if it's a plant or maybe it's a flute, and I've always wondered like why they leave this last hole over there. And I have some idea today, but back when I started using flutes, I didn't know what is this extra hole because these 6 fingers go here. What is this for? So you can pick up literally anything around you and just practice asking these questions. And you might wonder, hey, but if I don't know the answer, is it okay? Yes, have this bag of questions that you're collecting. Make that's the game. Asking these questions is the game. One of my friends' dads, when I was in 8th grade, asked, "What is the speed of electricity?" And I did not know the answer. I did not even know what electric current is actually. But it kept me thinking. In 8th grade, I had a different answer. In 10th grade, I had a different answer. In 12th grade, I had a different answer. Later, I had an even better answer. So what it does is, these questions are so good because as you climb up knowledge mountain, as you know more and more and more, your answers to these will get deeper and deeper and deeper. Because you can see more. So one of the best reasons to learn will become taking these questions and answering them deeper and deeper as you grow. Rather than losing curiosity, you'll become even more curious because once you know more and you get answers to these questions, you get even deeper questions. So that's what I want for you. And I'm super excited for you to have this habit built in you because we're called stay curious after all, right?